What's going on? Y'all already know it's your boy Morbius. It is Tuesday, so y'all know it's comic relief. And you know what? Let's get into it. What is going on? Salute to everybody here. Salute my co-host for today. What's up, Paul? What's goody?
What's going on, brother? What's happening?
Chilling, man. Chilling. It's Tuesday, episode
Loving
28.
That intro, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. That was Chamorro. He hooked it up, man. Salute to him.
Nice.
And well, man, he came through with it on the humble, man. He hooked me up, man. So another beautiful day, another beautiful show. Today we're going to be talking about comic auctions, the do's and the don'ts, and then everything else. You know how sometimes we'll trade off into other things and we'll come back. And today, of course, we got a beautiful human being that I really enjoy a lot in the comic community. We got to give it up to the homie Alonoz, as y'all know him as ComicsNPops. Get in here, my brother.
Oh my God, I love it. Thank you for that. And for a minute there, I thought you were going to say I was a beautiful man. I was like, oh.
Thought it was a different kind of show, maybe.
Don't worry, we're secure in our manhood here enough to say that. You are a beautiful man, brother. Beautiful
I appreciate it. Much love to you, Morbius, and to you, Paul. Man, you guys are amazing. I love you guys.
Oh man, thank you, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. Once again, I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody who's in the building. Let's see who's up in this chat over here. We got Legion of Comics. Salute. Appreciate you stopping in here. Of course, we got the homie Jason. Was goody in the hoodie.
What's up, Jason?
And of course, we got the big boy himself, the homie Justin in the building representing. What's good, my brother?
Justin,
always a pleasure. We got another big homie up in here. What's goody? We got Sif Lordsy up in here. Chili from out of Cali. Another brother out of Cali. So, and of course, we got Ragin Cajun. What's good, George? Salute. Who else we got here? I gotta move this chat down. All right, where we at? Oh, here we go. Big Soul. What's good, man? Thank you guys for coming in here, man. Appreciate you, man. Let's see who else. Make sure I didn't miss nobody else. Who we got here? Hello. Salute. Thank you. Ninja. Hope I said it right. Ninja. All right. Salute. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming to the show. Miguel was good. Thank you, my brothers. Always a pleasure to see you up in here. And of course, we got Geek Driven. Was good, my brother. Salute. Always a pleasure. All right. Oh, of course. Here we go. Thomas Jackson was good, man.
What's going on, buddy?
Was good. Beautiful. We got 11 people up in the building right now. Loving it. We got a lot of people in here enjoying the chat. I see everybody bigging everybody up, saluting everybody in here. That's awesome. Once again, man. So today, our topic of choice is going to be comic auctions. The do's and the don'ts. What does that mean, right? Do's and the don'ts. Well, that's something that's pretty much based on experience being in auctions. And, you got also raffles and stuff that maybe we could touch on as well, that falls into that category and other stuff that, that we could touch on. But today's auctions, I chose auctions because I just felt that I'm involved in a lot of auctions lately, and I started to notice a few things that I wanted to touch on. I wanted to, make sure I share with the community. So pretty sure everybody who's in the building now is very well schooled in auctions and in, their experience with auctions. But those who catch the replay or anybody who is not really experienced with this, watches this video, I would love to put some stuff out there so you guys could just watch out for things when you're in the auction, just to make sure you stay focused, because, you could easily lose a lot of money or get caught up in a situation where you can't even pay. So definitely, make sure y'all pay attention, because we're going to be throwing these brothers right here are very experienced as well. So that's why I wanted them on the panel today for this discussion. So I guess, to start it off, Paul, I'm going to go with you. What's give me some vibes with the auctions, with comic auctions, things that you've experienced or things that you've seen, things that you like, don't like, let me know.
I mean, basically it's well, I say one thing I'll definitely say.
Oh, I messed up. My bad.
I know. You know what? I had it in my hand too, and I was ready to mention it.
Guys, cheers. Cheers to everybody. Cheers. Salute to you in the chat. Oh, I know Justin, I know he was screaming at me through the computer. Cheers to you, brother. I heard him in my head. All right, guys. So Paul, as you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing I don't like, I feel like happens a lot, just to get it out of the air, is I feel like some of these auctions, especially on eBay, they get a little cooked. You know what I mean? It's the big thing lately. A lot of people have been talking about is the shield bidding and kind of manipulating the auctions and manipulating the sales. Which I, as a kind of a heavy eBay guy, at least I used to be, I definitely can feel like a lot of that happens. I can see it. You watch a book and it's a certain price and boom, 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 the last 10 seconds, which I know can happen organically too, but sometimes it just seems like it's just out of place. So that's the main thing I definitely don't like. But, I try to just set a price, and that's whatever the price I set, that's what we're going to go with. Unfortunately, we all get caught up and bid more than we should, or some of us bid when we're drunk, as Morbius knows. So we all
drunk night is the best, Paul.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, we probably all been there too. I mean, I was telling Morgan's story. I bought a book when I was sleeping. Somehow I had my phone in my hand and was browsing eBay. Dude, and I guess in my dozing off, I double tapped the phone and bought it and paid for it. My wife watched it happen.
Who does that? Dude, don't get me wrong. That has crossed my mind. When I'm sitting there holding the phone with your finger and you're afraid, like if you reflex, you hit that buy now or something.
These touch screens are sensitive, man. They'll get you in trouble. So
Paul took it to the next level. You got drunk purchasing, and then you got sleeping purchasing.
Sleeping purchasing. It happens, man.
How you do that, man?
That's the big thing. But the main thing I think with auctions, you're gonna go heavy with the auctions and stuff, is you gotta just stick. You gotta stick to your guns. You gotta do your research so you don't get beyond, because you'll end up winning the auction. Like, yeah, I won, and you see what you paid, and then there's a bunch of buy it nows like a cheaper price. So, sometimes you can get caught.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's how about you, Alonzo? What's your vibe on it? What's your take?
I buy all my stuff from auctions or online stores, because like my LCS, they don't have any bronze, any copper. I mean, it's just strictly modern. That's all they have, is just modern. And I have 2 LCSs, all modern. Oh, wow. So going into auctions is the only way that I could like purchase some things, but I also list a lot of things as well on eBay. One of the things that kind of really, just to make sure people are aware of, is people have submitted books to CGC and are pre-selling them. Just be very, very careful about that, because there have been some accounts that have been scamming people because of that. So they know that CGC has taken a while. So they say, oh yeah, you'll get your book, and they won't communicate with you. I mean, they won't say, oh, it's at this stage, or, they finally have it. So just be aware of that. If something's being pre-sold, make sure that they have a lot of good feedback, they're a reputable company or something like that are doing that via eBay. If not, I mean, seriously, just even if the price is too good, like, just don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah,
definitely. I totally agree. You guys were saying a lot of good stuff there, man. I agree with a lot of stuff you guys were saying pretty much. I think one of the key things, like Paul was saying, was research. That's very big. And another thing, Alonzo, you're saying, is knowing, who you're purchasing from, and and having getting some kind of feedback, which is very important. Because there's like a selected few that I, would go into their auction as of today, but it's very few. I mean, I'm talking maybe 5 guys like on Instagram that I would just only fuck with, because I already know I've dealt with them before. I like their style. I like the way they do their auctions, especially when you got guys who, let's say, like somebody who wins the auction, right? Wins the bid, but he doesn't pay. But you was the second runner up. They come out and reach out to you and be like, hey man, I'm willing to accept, your bid, because this guy, obviously wasn't able to. So are you willing to, take it now or whatever? Like, that's awesome, man. you know, somebody to reach out to you and be like, hey, you was the second highest bid on it. I'm willing to honor that, you know? And so I think that's amazing when you deal with people like that. But then you have, you know, the opposite. Some people might just ghost you for some reason, you know, even the own person you're trying to buy the, you know, the book from. It's like what you're saying. It's like, you know, you're like, wait, what's going on? I want to pick up the book, but I'm not getting no feedback, you know, on the book. So I've been to weird stuff like that. And one thing I think that's important is communication. And I think in the auction is very important communication. You know, I love to DM, you know, beforehand or send a quick message, even during, you know, just put it out there in the chat, you know, hey, are you, you know, whatever it is that you just want to, you know, throw out there, be like, hey, are you doing this? Are you willing to do this? Hey, if I buy something now, are you okay with, you know, half now, half later type stuff? You know, it's like depending on how big of a purchase it is. You know, if you drop in $1,000 or some crazy shit, you know, you'd be like, hey, I could give you 5 now, 5 later. And he'll just be like, yeah, honor that. Especially if you already purchased from that person, which is something you want to do after the fact. You don't want to do that like when you first buy from somebody. It's not, I feel like they're more hesitant that way, and it's a better relationship builder. If let's say you purchase something from someone and then the second time around you be like, hey, you mind if I, you know, go half on this, and then later, and then and then you honor that as well, and then you continue. You know, I think that's the best way to do it, because if you ever get in a bind, you know, shit happens, life gets in the way. You're like, yo, shit, I can't pay you this week. You know, something happened, and they'll know, like, you know, this dude, he's legit. He always comes through. Nah, no problem. More, go ahead, man. Get me next week. You know, and
once you establish that trust, you know,
right? You want to establish that kind of trust. I think that's very important. You know, when you're, you know, going to auctions, you want to build a relationship, just the same way like your, you know, local comic shop. You know, you want to build a relationship with them, and I think that's, to me, I think that's important. I like to hit them up ahead of time and ask those questions. Hey, are you okay with this? You know, I know I purchased a few books prior, but hey, you know, I'm thinking of, you know, if something comes up, I can't be able to pay the full price. Would you mind going half these, half this? You know, and every time they're like, yeah, no problem. You know, but it comes up. Life happens. What I'm trying to say, not, you know, you have a plan, and sometimes things, you know, derail that plan. So I think it's important that to really like have that, you know, this, you know, that dialogue, you know, and also the feedback is very important, man. Make sure you're buying from, you know, because, and then also another thing that, like, you guys were talking about biz. I'm sorry that I'm rambling here, but
that's good.
It's, you know, it's the shrills. I've heard of it. You know, you got guys who just want to max out the bid. You know what I mean? Just to be assholes. Like, they're not even gonna buy it. They just be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna raise the price on this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And bring it up. And you're like, come on, man. You know,
it's just not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, I've had, you know.
You can't prove it.
I don't want to tell stories out of you know, school, but I know firsthand of dealers that will call a buddy to, like, hey, bid up this book because it's real low and it's ending soon.
Right.
I'll just put it like that.
But one of the things you can look too, like, if you can look at the bid history while you're bidding, you can see like the increments. So you can see like who's been like kind of bidding, and you're looking at this person that has maybe 0 feedback or I don't know, 10, some ridiculous number. And then you know that thing's being shilled. I mean, they're just, it's a buddy or it's that guy, he has another account. And he bid that out.
You know, that always crossed my mind with that, man. Is it the same dude that has another account and he just trying to squeeze out as much money as he can?
I mean, it's just so easy to do, really. You know, it's easy enough to set up.
It really is. Well, yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference between shrills and bidding and salty bidding. So true, my brother. So true, man.
Salty bidding is like salty everything else online. There's no
right. And you know, it's like you said, you can't really prove it. You can't really put your finger on it. You know, you just know that it's like it exists. You know, it's out there. You know, they're out there. But I mean, it's just so many things that like are involved. You know, I think with auctions, another thing also.
Guys, I mean, it's a good thing. Good. I just wanted to ask though, because especially you, Morbius, I know, I'm not sure, Alonzo. I've never done like Instagram auctions because I just felt like I wasn't really knowledgeable enough about how it would work, or like So Alonzo, you said you sell some stuff. Do you sell on? Do you do auctions on IG or no?
I don't, not on IG. I bought some stuff on IG. Like all the stuff that I sell right now is on eBay. I'm thinking about dipping my toes into Whatnot. Like some of the guys that I know have already done some of that. Like Geek Driven has done it. Mama Comic has done it, and they've done really well with it. So I'm thinking about doing the same thing. But I purchased some stuff on Instagram. But with Instagram, I make sure to look at that guy's like feed. I mean, it's not something that just kind of started, you know. He's been doing this for a while, because that gives me confidence, you know. And
but typically those were like buy it now type transactions, like you just bought the book. It wasn't an auction style.
Some of them, they do the IG live, and they'll do it like an auction.
Oh, okay. I guess you could do it like that.
It kind of feels like Whatnot, from what I've been told. But yeah, they've done like an auction like that.
Look at what Spider Comics is saying over here. Salute, welcome, brother. Whatnot has been overrun with sellers, you know. See what else is at the beginning. Sellers were getting huge prices, but now there's just too many sellers.
You know what? That sounds like a deal, Spiders Comics. Like if you're a buyer, now would be probably the time to go buy some grails or buy some things you've been looking for.
Right, exactly. As a buyer market, now this is it right here. This is the buyer's market right now. Whatnot. Guess I'm starting my account tonight.
I know, right? I'll just look into that.
Let's get some grails, brother.
Get them books.
Let's get some motherfucking
my IG feed. I agree with Sith there. He commented that IG feed has been overrun with sellers. I feel like everybody I follow.
Oh yeah, I think that's just overall right now. I think there's sellers everywhere, man. It's just,
I don't know why everybody's dumping or what's going on, but
yeah, man. You know, I get it. You know, I'm not gonna knock it per se. You know what I mean?
Checks aren't coming anymore, so they gotta take some money.
You know. We got salute to Michelle Moonlit Comics in the building. Yeah, man. Morb on Whatnot. Yeah, right.
That'll be exciting.
We do it.
Yeah, I'm getting there, bro. I'm getting there. But yeah, man. You know, I think it's another thing I was that happened to me, like I don't know how many times, pretty sure happened to you guys, the lagging, where you're just, you know, trying to put in a claim, like you want to be the first guy to claim. Even on a claim, it's not even an auction. It mostly happens a lot with claims, you know, more than anything, I feel, where you're either their service lags or your service lags. You really never know really who's lagging, you know, and then you're like, yeah, I won that. And they're like, no, I didn't see your claim, or I didn't, you know, you didn't get the higher bid, you know. So that's frustrating, you know. And I think that something that's important is making sure that the auction house that you're going to, that these guys have good internet connection. Number one, make sure they have good internet connection, and make sure you have good internet connection. Even if you got to go, you know, direct, you know, don't go off Wi-Fi, you know, to make sure, you know, your connection is good. You know, or if you're on your phone, I mean, of course, you got, you know, make sure you got good Wi-Fi. If you're on your computer, plug in, you know, make sure you're direct, and make sure that they're good too, that on their end, because that's happened so many times and it's frustrating, you know. But guys, I mean, you know, well, to me, it's like one more thing I wanted to add here, because I have wrote some stuff down here. So I think one of the things is outside of the communication, that's cool about the auction. For those who don't know, I know Justin, he be in a lot of auctions, and I know me and him ran into each other in there. And it's the community. That's another thing that's cool about the auctions. You know, it's the building, you know, with the community in the chat, because I've met a lot of people, you know, through auctions or in claim sales, you know, where you just start, you know, joking around, everybody starts chatting, going away, you know, going back and forth. So I mean, I think that you have a lot of pros, you know, per se, towards cons. You know, what you guys think? You think that there's more pros or more cons when it comes to these like auctions, as far as a buyer, not a seller, as far as a buyer, you know?
I mean, me personally, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Then we'll go as a seller, but for now we'll go as a buyer.
I was gonna say, basically,
your house, man. Go ahead.
I'm a death like you, brother. I honestly, I kind of got disenchanted with auctions in general, just because you're always losing them last second. You just can't. They always sell for what they're I've kind of become like a buy it now guy. I don't even really try to mess with auctions too much. I'd rather just, even if I could have saved a little money by entering a bunch of auctions and try, it's almost like raffles or something, you know, it's like a gamble. Whereas I'm more of like a sure bet guy. I'll just buy it for the buy it now price. So I feel more comfortable doing that.
Yeah. What about you, Alonzo?
I'm always looking for a deal. So I buy it now prices for me, they're like my last resort, because I feel like with auctions you can always get them a little bit cheaper than what you can get via the buy it now. But if it's a book that I'm like, hey, I don't want to even deal with it like you, Paul, like I would do a buy it now. But right now, like you can still get some good deals at auctions, but I think a lot of sellers
evidence of that yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, man. You see, and that was luck right there. You know, it was just one of those things that happened, and this feels good. Don't get me wrong. And this sometimes you're like, damn, about damn time, because you're constantly missing out on shit, or you like, you know, it's like, fuck, can I get a break, Comic Gods? You know, and yesterday was one of them. You know, for me,
it's also timing too. Like
it is
a lot of times that you can see where the person's like listing, like this is from Florida or this is from like California. If you look at the way they kind of structure things, if it ends at night, like you're probably going to get a deal. You know, like East Coast wise, if they set it up, or even the West Coast, they say, oh, I'm going to end my auction at like 8. That's 11 East Coast, and some people are probably sleeping, you know, or out and about.
That's true. You know, and it's funny how you say, because that auction yesterday, like when I was talking to Paul about it yesterday, I told him that I won that auction. It was like 6 o'clock here, you know, and 6 o'clock here, that's like rush hour. You know what I mean? That's like
people, a good time for sure. Weekday, 6 o'clock, that's a good time.
Right, weekday 6 o'clock here. You know, what's that over there? That's 3 o'clock, right, for you guys?
Yeah, people are working.
Yeah, people are at work, you know, and to you know, so I figured this is why I saw it was like not much activity on it, because I figured like, you know what, guys are like just busy right now, and you know, one guy tried to put his max bid and it was not big enough. It was just like, I'll take that. Yeah, and it was great, man. I gotta say, it was great. But see, these are the things like that's eBay, you know. But IG, I feel you're in an auction with you know, and you're dealing with the person. There's so many things, so many factors there, you know. And I think that's important. But you know what? Let's go into the chat real quick. I see the chat I see a lot of stuff going on in the chat. A lot of people are saying a lot of stuff here. So let's see. I saw something here. Hold on a second. Let's see. We got CFAP, CAF1. If something you want to get any kind of way. Yeah, that is true. But you also want to make sure you don't overpay. You know,
I saw someone talking about the tax too. I hate the tax on eBay now.
Tax on eBay is fucking annoying.
That's where you ask them if they have an
IG
need to get
rid of that, man.
And then you go over and make the deal on IG, no tax.
Yeah, for real, man. It was a beautiful thing when they had no tax, man. It was like,
no
you know, now you're like, what the fuck? Because you don't even know what the tax is gonna be. It could jump from it could be $1 something to like $8, $10, $15. You're like, what the fuck is he shipping?
Even my comic shop, I buy a lot of books off them. Same thing. They started hitting me tax the last year or so.
Oh man, that sucks, man.
Uncle Sam gonna get his cut, I guess. He ain't taking enough off me. He's gonna get it.
He's like Uncle Sam.
Comic books, and I enjoy something without taxes.
Exactly. Right, you and so I can see your books. Yeah. You know.
No, but like as a buyer, man, I mean it's crazy. It's crazy. I think right now deals can be had by just kind of looking at how things are. And I think somebody in the chat had mentioned like make offers. Even if a person has a buy it now, I guarantee you can DM them and make them an offer.
Oh yeah, always make an offer. I agree with you, Alonzo, 100%. Always make an offer. You know, I would say 9 out of 10 times they'll accept whatever it is, or work with you and just, you know, go up whatever it is you're offering. They'll take it up a notch or whatever. But at least they're willing to, you know, play around with an offer. So I definitely agree with you on that one. That's key right there. You know, yeah, man. I think with when it comes to eBay, when you got auctions on IG, they're two totally different monsters for sure. you know. But then you have, when it comes to going back to auctions, I think one of the important things is that when you're dealing with them, you know, everybody has their rules. That's another thing. Different guys have different rules. You know, I noticed that. You know, when you're in there, you're thinking, okay, well, let's say some guys will go, once again, let's say if you gave an offer, let's say it's $70, right? You offered him 60, and somebody takes that and says, no, I'll pay full price 70. They'll be like, hold on a second, somebody already offered 60. So then they'll ask, you know, let's say if that's just the host will ask the seller, like, hey, offer 60, you willing to take that? And the guy will say, yeah, I'll take the 60. Fuck it, I'll honor that. You know, because he offered first before somebody actually took the book at price. And it wasn't such a drastic offer. You know what I mean? Where he wanted half off or some crazy shit. You know, but I've seen that. And then I've seen the opposite where it's like, oh, no, it don't matter if you came and offered him first. Somebody bought it for full price. They take it. That's it. You're fucked. You know, so it's like people have different ways. So you got to be aware of that thing. That's why it's always good when you get into a new auction, ask questions in the chat. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's nothing wrong with you asking questions. Doesn't make you look stupid. You know, nothing like that.
That's good, too, like you were saying. So that guy, he technically may have lost $10, but if sometimes, because we see other people on IG, we see.
But he got a reoccurring customer, you know.
Yeah, you might see, oh, this guy's serious about his books. He might buy a lot of books, on, you know. So to lose $10 now, or potentially lose $10 to get a customer that might be back in next week spending $100. I mean, it's just smart business at that point.
Right. Salute, Lord Chucks. I agree. We're in the same boat. But yeah, man, you know, I send offers and watch eBay once a week. Always willing to sell for less. I always ask asking price above what I want to the bottom line to sell it all. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Alonzo was even saying earlier though about even if the book doesn't have a best offer, you know, to buy it now, but you still send them an offer. Some of that is like, because we all know we've got books in our watch list that's been there for like 6 months. So that seller may be more motivated if you shoot him an offer, even though he's not accepting them. He might take it just to move the book at that point. Yep. Exactly. If it's like a new listing, I mean, they're less flexible. I've kind of noticed.
Right.
Yeah. They rather let it ride. And then one of the other things I just put out a link in the chat is use this link 130point.com/sales. That will help you out as a buyer and also a seller. But as a buyer, if you're looking to find like a deal on eBay or something like that, it is the best way to go because it helps you determine like what the average selling price is.
That's cool.
Nice. You know? Yeah, I'll definitely put that in the description, guys. So I'll add that in there. And guys, once again, anybody who's in here who's not following PJ Morris, who's not following Alonzo, hit these guys up. Alonzo from Team Nerd Herd, their link is in the description. They're in the building. So make sure you go hit them up, go subscribe, check out the videos. You're going to love it. So yeah, I think that, you know, a lot of this falls back onto just, you know, doing your homework when it comes to buying stuff. Don't get caught up in the hype. We've all been there, so we can all talk about it, you know. So where you just be like, no, I want that book, or your ego kicks in and you're like, no, fuck you, you're not gonna buy this shit. I'm gonna fucking buy it. Like, you know, and it's like, I want it that bad.
I was just about to mention that too, that Chef just mentioned about that facsimile of Ultimate Fallout 4.
Right.
I see a lot of people posting about it, and they kind of shitting on the sellers who are doing that, which I agree is kind of dirty.
Yeah, man. That's some real.
Also, like, if you're trying to buy that book, you should know what you're trying to buy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In other words, you couldn't fool me on a book because I know what I'm trying to buy, or you got, you know, whatever. So if you're getting burned in that book, that's on. If in my opinion, that's on you. But some people feel differently, I think. But
yeah, man, I've been seeing it a lot. I've seen a few posts on IG about it. You know, people posting about it, and I'm like, I'm in agreement, man. That's bullshit. You know, these people are just out here really seriously taking advantage of people, and you know, can't happen, man. Not on my watch. You know. I've had 5 books from the same seller in my watch list for over a year.
Oh my
Wants
god.
$40 a book.
Wow.
Wow. Dude would have said 35.
Right. He wants to get very with them books.
Right. There's a lot of those guys where if you've offered them $1 off and they're like, nope. And it's like, bro, it's $50. I'm offering you $49. Nope. And you're like, what the fuck you want?
You just leave, go to another seller and say,
exactly. That's when you're like,
and then you give him $50.
Exactly. I'm like, fuck you. You take him out.
Yeah. Send them the fucking screenshot of you buying it now for $50 just to stick it to them.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Fuck that, man.
Oh my goodness.
When orders the book, they won't take a single cent off. Hey, listen, man. And hoarders should not be selling. That's just the thing. I'm a hoarder. I don't sell books, man.
Selling and hoarding is like an oxymoron. I don't think
that's why if you see me on Whatnot, I'm not selling. I'm buying.
You're buying.
I'm buying, not selling. You know. Because,
do you have to set up an account to buy on there? Is that how that works?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I haven't opened an account, but I'm assuming that you should be able to just be a consumer, just to
kind of browse on there and buy something.
Right. I think maybe you could choose that. I'm pretty sure there has to be an option that you're like either you're just like a buyer or a seller.
I know short boxed is like that too. When you check their app, it's like it says to sign in, or then it says browse as guest. Like you can just look without really like putting in your information. So
it says what now? Yeah, man. I think let me see what he said. Yes, PayPal gets hold on, what Spider's comic. It seems to have a lot of experience over here with Whatnot. Yes, and PayPal gets connected. Hold on, I must have missed something here.
Whatnot auctions are like a minute a book.
Oh wow. That's fast.
Yeah, it's super fast.
Yeah, that puts a lot of pressure though. I think that kind of heightens up the prices because you got people that feel like that, that pressure that they have to like, get on top of it before it runs out, and they're gonna throw crazy numbers to try to keep people from, bidding it. I think that has a lot to do with that. That's kind of sneaky right there. That's definitely psychological. You know what I mean? That's psychological. Sorry guys, I study psychology, so when things like that pop, it's like a red flag. I'm like, hold on a second.
You're like, I'm not going to Whatnot, but
I'm not going. Never mind.
Cheap.
I'm not doing Whatnot.
Well, they're selling books for cheap. But you know what though? That minute, like you're right, because it's like you're like, I want it, and then you start to just get you may get a little crazy, right?
Yeah, man. I think like that might drive it up a little when you feel that clock ticking down, so fast. Like doesn't even give you time to like really build on it. It's like, damn, that's
a little more tension, a little more pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of time to make decisions. You're like, clock's ticking.
Exactly.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, I think overall, man, it's hard to say if you have more pros and cons when it comes to these like auctions or even claim sales or raffles per se. Raffles is another story because raffles I don't do. Yeah, I'm not interested in raffles. I know Paul is not. Alonzo, you do raffles?
I'm trying to right now. Like JR, Rogue Slaw, and then Justin. They got a lot of good books.
Oh hell yeah!
With raffles or those they call waffles or whatever, those minis and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I send out a memo to everybody that do raffles not to do any raffles with Justin. Like he's blacklisted for more raffles
because he's gonna win.
I know, right?
He's winning, man. He's gonna walk away with like an FF1 for like $50. Like, how do I do that? How do I do that? He's just like,
X-Men won from a raffle. I mean, that's
you know what I mean? Like this guy, man, he's
just something else.
Yep, signed by Stanley. Oh my god, that guy.
It's incredible.
But yeah, I mean, I've done it. I think it's kind of fun, but you have to have disposable income. It's one of those things where you have to go in knowing that you're going to lose that money, right? So you're going to have to go in. Oh, if it's like a $10 like slot, that you have to go in knowing that, hey, that $10 I got to be okay with losing it.
Right, right. And I think that's the hard part with me is that. It's like I look at that $10 and I'm like, damn, that could have been another comic book.
That's how I feel too. I'm like
I could have put that to another comic book,
even if down the toilet.
And I know that that's not, I guess I'm not a gambling man. I'm going to say I've never been a gambling man. I've never liked to gamble with my money. You know what I mean? And I think that has a lot to do with it. If you're not a gambler, obviously you're going to be turned off by that if you've never been into that. So I think that's where I fall. It's just that it was never my thing to play with my money, and I think now even more, being older and being more responsible and then wanting to really build your collection. It's like, for me, every penny counts, like every dollar counts, man. I could put that to another hot book, to add to my collection that I could say I have it in my PC, which I think is the best fucking feeling ever. You know what I mean? To like when you get a book and you like, yo, I got this. Like, fuck the value of it. You know what I mean? It's like just the book itself. Like, yo, I got this here, and I could turn around, I could go reach for it, pull it back out, look at it, put it back down, and you're like, yeah, I got it. You're like, do I got that book? Yes, I fucking do. It's right here. And you like psyching yourself up. Like, I think that's the best feeling ever, man. And I think that's why we all really do this for, regardless of everything. And, me and Paul, we're just crazy with the slabs. We love collecting slabs, and Paul's laughing. He's like, we do just to crack them.
Yeah, exactly. Just to crack them out.
But even with the slabs, right? So one of the things, like, as a buyer, is you know how much the book costs. Be aware how much the book costs.
Yes,
how much it costs, to get it slabbed, and all of that, like shipping and everything. I mean, you're looking at easily anything that's under $80 is a deal.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure, bro.
Anything under $80 is a deal that's graded, like a CGC 9.8. Why mess around with sending your books when you have to, because you have to pay like the shipping, the insurance, all of this stuff.
Right.
If you're in the market, or if you're trying to buy those kind of books, then completely agree. You better just buying the 9.8 if it's cheap enough, because the odds of you picking one raw and sending it in, like you said, you're gonna pay the shipping, you're gonna pay the grading fee.
Right. You're just better off.
Keep your fingers crossed you get a 9.8. I mean, conversely, I don't understand why people buying if it's a 9.8 of a book that's not that old and it's under $80. Like, why would you even buy it anyway? Is my opinion. Like, in other words, the book is just not, it's probably like a $10 book, you know what I'm saying? Like, my raw mentality is just like, I can't see spending the money on a book that's like a $10 book raw because it's 9.8, like, but that's me. That's
Paul, I totally get that mentality. I mean, because as a collector, it's just like, well, I want to be able to open the book. I want to be able to, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's for the PC, right?
Right.
But if you're a seller or an investor, I mean, you want to have a book that's been graded by somebody else other than yourself, right? You don't want to say, oh, I think this book is a 9.8 or is mint. And the buyer's like, no, it isn't. I mean, it's good to have that kind of third party to help you with that, to help facilitate that. And if you're going to pass these books on from generation to generation, I mean, you're thinking of like the book being raw. It's going to be mishandled. It's going to be like, but again,
my son's 13. He knows how to handle books already.
Yeah, but what about his son? Right?
Wow,
right?
Man,
or his daughter, right?
I don't know if those books will be around at that point, but all my books are well full backed in my lot. They're all pretty well protected. But I mean, I get it. Hey, so different people.
Yeah, man.
It's just a different point of view.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a totally other whole show, because there was so many things so many things you said, Alonzo, I wanted to jump in there and add on to it, but I'm like, nope. We got to stay focused. We can't go into the whole slab thing. And it's not fair to you because you got two non-slabbers over here. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's like just you, not fair. So I was like, let's keep it going with the
Is there anybody else in the chat that collects?
Yeah. Oh man, there's plenty in the chat here. There's plenty in the chat. You know what I mean?
I think me and Morb are definitely in the minority. So
yeah, we're in the minority, man, when it comes to that.
No, but you know what though? Nothing beats like when you feel the pages in your hand and like open them, especially older ones, because you get that like smell of the ink and the paper.
Yeah, man.
It's like very tactile. I mean, you can feel it. I mean, it's nice.
Can we agree to something as a slabber? Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but I have a lot of admiration for you. Can we agree to something okay, that I see. Me and Paul have noticed this. You know. Let me ask you this first. Let me ask you. So your slabs, when you grab your slabs, do you grab them with your bare hand or you put on gloves to grab your slabs, your plastic slabs?
I use my hand. I don't put any gloves on.
Okay. And how about your raws that are in sleeves and backboarded? Do you grab them? Okay.
No, no gloves.
No gloves. Okay. And I'm assuming you grab them, the raws with glove, which is I've accepted. No, you don't?
No.
My guy. That's my guy. Okay. Okay. My guy. All right. Now let me ask you this.
But I'm making sure that I'm like my hands aren't greasy with pizza.
Yeah,
of course. You gotta finish a cheeseburger before you read your books, and you can't wash your hands after you eat cheese fries with nachos, and then you go, read your books. That is guaranteed. You have to do that. No, but what a trend that I'm noticing. I don't know if it's and I love busting certain people's balls that I know personally that I've caught them doing it, and I'm like, yo, bro, why are you doing that? Like, why are you wearing gloves grabbing your slabs? Like, and it's very obvious. You're wearing gloves to grab slabs, to present your slabs, and you're wearing gloves. I mean, why?
I would need an explanation on that. It makes me
sense. I want some documentation. I want a report made. I want some investigation done here.
The slab, the plastic or something. I don't get it.
Okay, here we go. Touch my raw. See, this I've learned to live with people who touch their raws with gloves. I've come to a point over the years to just be like, you know what? Tomato, that's okay. Because maybe some people are just have that, stigma that they just afraid. Maybe they got extra greasy hands. I don't know. They sweat a lot. I don't know. You see? I don't know. But so I'm okay with that. I'll let that slide. I won't pull that card. But when I see people wearing, gloves to grab their slabs or, books that are already in their sleeves, like to me, that's like wearing a condom to sleep. Like that's like wearing a seatbelt outside the car. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Yeah, like the whole purpose of putting it in a bag and sleeve and in a slab is for that you can touch it with your motherfucking hands. Yeah. Like, so like that's just been like for the last like 2-3 weeks, I've been noticing this trend happening, and I'm like, what's going on here? What is going on here? Like, we are losing it, people. This is comic relief, but we got to talk about shit like that. That shit is out of control. Y'all got to stop that shit.
Just not to keep the slab conversation going, but I'm just curious. Have you sent in a lot of books, or do you just kind of buy them graded already?
No, I send CGC a ton of books.
Wow, okay.
Tons. Tons. And again, it's because like I sell them on eBay. I mean, I look at books and I figured, oh, you know what, this could be hot in a month. This could be hot in a year. I might as well just get it taken care of.
Right.
So definitely more for like sales investment type
yes
strategy.
Yes. Because it's like again, when a book is as a seller or even as a buyer, I mean, it takes that like guesswork out, because some people on eBay or whatever, they don't put really good pictures, or they won't put a picture of the back of the book. So you always have to ask, So I mean, you're really trying to look at like, okay, does the corners look good? Does the spine look good? All of this stuff, and because they don't take good pictures, and that's one of the things. Like a do for an eBay seller, any auction seller, take pictures. Take pictures of the corners. The
exactly. I would see that if they got the stock photo. I'm like, that's like a
right. Like, bro, what's up with that? What is that? That's like, no, man, you can't do that. They need to ban that shit. Like, you can't be putting no stock photo. That's like, man, that's like you go on a dating app, right? And then you put yourself at like 21. And you're like, nah, this is my stock photo from when I was at my peak prime condition. I look super clean. You know what I mean? My condition is immaculate. No spine ticks.
It wasn't white.
fresh. You know, I'm young as fuck, diesel. Like, you can't do that shit. Like, you know, you catfishing, bro. You catfishing. You can't. Nah, man.
Exactly.
They catfishing on eBay when they do that, man. You can't. And I'm quick to be like,
yeah,
next.
I just scroll right by. Like,
yeah, I'm like, next.
Get
the fuck out of here. Exactly. I don't care how good the deal is, you know. Next.
Oh, see, I like what they said. Like Bricks was like, if they don't have 12 picks, like I pass. I agree with that.
I was just gonna hit that. Yeah. Exactly. They gotta have picks, bro. You gotta have picks on that. You know,
comics equals Tinder. A stock pick, you swipe left.
You swipe left.
If you have 12 pictures, you swipe right.
You swipe right. Exactly, man. Perfect. You know, and that's how it feels like. You know, you're there. You looking for your love. You know, that book, that one book that you're looking for, or a few books you're looking for, and that's important. You know, you want to make sure that you can see what the hell you're buying. You know,
I mean, you gotta like the corners, the back, front, maybe the pages. Like it's
oh yeah.
You know, and I'm not afraid. That's another thing, guys. Never be afraid to ask. Send me pictures, and if they don't respond to you in a couple days or a week, fuck them. You know what I mean? They're playing games. You know, just go to the next one. You know, but yeah, man, guys, I think that one thing here that I'm noticing is the fact that we have so many opportunities, so many avenues to get books, right? And so many avenues to be taken advantage of or be taken advantage of. And also depending on what position you're in, take advantage of a person, you know, because I've seen a lot of crazy stuff on IG. And what I love about IG is that people will call you out. That's one thing that's dope. On eBay, you can't really do that. You have people who will fuck you, and all you could do is like pretty much like, what can you do? Send some kind of, what can you do on eBay? You know, because I've never had that I've never had to do it. I've never felt like I needed to do it to somebody, like have to, like, I guess report them, you know? I mean, how can you report them for being an asshole? Like for canceling on you, you know, because, you know, he didn't want to sell you a book that he felt was sold for too cheap, you know?
I mean, worst case scenario, what's if he cancels, like, let's say, I hope it doesn't happen, but let's say he like cancels the sale, says the book was damaged, blah, blah, blah. He's gonna refund you. What can you really do other than leave him bad feedback? You know what I mean? It's just
right.
Basically, there's nothing you can
know.
do.
That's why I kind of like IG a lot, because in IG, you know, they'll blow your spot up. You know, they'll put pictures of you. Oh, this guy is a bullshit guy. You know, he'll buy books from you and won't fucking pay you. And you're like, oh, that's what's up. Or they'll be like, oh, this person sells stuff and this bullshit. They don't actually take your money and won't send you any books. You know, and shit, vice versa. And you're just like, oh, that's awesome. You know, so I think for me personally, like when it comes to stuff like that, I'm starting to lean more. eBay is more like my emergency. You know what I mean? If I can't find it nowhere else, then I go to eBay. You know what I mean? And if I can't find it there, then fuck it, I got to go hunt for it. You know? But I think that's when it comes down to auctions that I've been doing lately now. I've been really getting into, like, you know, of course, always in a claim sale. You know, claim sales are like my go-to. You know, you got to love these claim sales. I can name off so many guys that, you know, do some great claim sales. You know, guys, if you got anybody, give them a shout out now. Rage Theo, Young Comic Collects.
Young Comics Collect, I bought a few books off.
Yeah, man. Comics for Cheap, you know. Of course, you got Elite, that well-known, you know, comics. But there's so many people out there that got a lot of.
I bought a few books off IG. I only had one guy that kind of gave me the run around a little bit, but he eventually shipped the book, and the book was great. So I mean, I can't. He kind of undergraded the book in my estimation, so I can't ultimately complain. But he just took forever to ship it, and it was like my cards broke. You know, my dog ate the homework. It was like all like bullshit reasons. You know, it was like, just ship the damn book already. I think if it's me and I sold a book and guys gave me their money, I would take a freaking Uber to the post office to mail the books. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would do everything in my power to mail the books out, not just like, oh, my car's broke, I can't leave the house. Sorry, you got to wait another week.
You're a good seller there.
Right.
You're a good seller, man.
Yeah, Paul, me, that's why I don't sell. I don't do that, because me, I'm the total opposite. Even to my own friends. If I tell you, listen, matter of fact, if Ragin is still here, he even knows. He won that free giveaway. I don't even want to tell you how long it took him to get them damn books. All I'm saying is, I keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100 on her. You know me, I keep it 100. So, I suck. I suck. That's why I don't get into selling. I don't get into none of that stuff because I know that people would just be mad at me. They'll be like, yo, this guy took like a month to send me my books. Like, I package it well. I do everything, that's one thing, I make sure it's packaged well. Everything is right, correct, even waterproof. So just in case it gets caught in the rain, you know what I mean? I'm like,
my
you
house,
put it in a condom then, huh? You wrap it up and just like ship it out?
Extra large Magnum.
We're heavy Amazon buyers in this house. We got Amazon Prime, so I'm so used to getting things in a day or two, I get spoiled. I wish eBay had like friggin' eBay Prime and I could get my books in 2 days, but
that would be nice.
Unfortunately,
at 9 a.m. this morning, I got to the post.
See, you sell the book, you put someone's money, ship it.
It's on it, man. It's on it. Mail service in Reno sucks ass. I like doing business with pro packers only on mamas. Yeah, man. It's to me, I think that's another thing too, right, guys? I mean, you deal with somebody and you're getting your package, as safe as possible. Is your comics are being wrapped up correctly. I think that's important too because this times on eBay, I bought a book, and I guess that's another hang up I have is that on IG, when you deal with sellers on IG, these are per se, they know their books. They're collectors. A lot of these guys are collectors. All of them are pretty much, and they sell. So they know how badly you would want to receive your books just as much as they would want to receive them in the best possible condition. So I always trust IG sellers. I always know that they're gonna send their books wrapped up correctly. eBay, anywhere else, you're always, there's always that what if. You're always in that 50-50 gray area, hoping that, please, God, I know he's 100%. I know he has fucking like 30 purple stars. This motherfucker got like, everything going right for him. But I've been in those situations where people have been like that, and it comes in a fucking Melinda envelope, and you're like, with no backboarding, it's just a regular. You're like, what the motherfucker? What is this, my diploma? I was like, motherfucker, like it's a goddamn comic book. Like, what is this, a picture? What are you sending me?
Oh, man.
I was like,
these people buy books from, which I've never had. Have you guys ever bought anything from Mercari?
Yes, I did. I bought in two books there, man.
Who scored some deals from there, but then also said that they could tell the people weren't comic people, so the shipping was a little suspect.
Right. You always got to send them a message, man. Send them a message and be like, hey, just make sure, I'm just concerned with the packaging. Just make sure it's packaged well. Put a piece of cardboard in there, something. I always say, especially those kind of sites that are like, you know that you're dealing with they're not usually custom dealing with comic books, or books in general and magazines, so I think that's important too, man, but yeah, so I mean, we got a few minutes left. We got a few people here in the chat. Thank you for everybody who's still chilling in the chat with us. I know we was like conversation for the last 30 minutes. So, but Alonzo, let us know if you got anything coming up, anything that's like in particular, anything that you got. I know you got some stuff. I saw you post something recently. So let the people know, man, and let them know where to find you too, for those for catching the replay don't know.
Oh man, thank you so much, Morbius. I'm from Team Nerd Herd. You can find us on YouTube under Team Nerd Herd, or just go to teamnerdherd.com. We have Introspective that's coming up tomorrow with special guest Moonlit, and she gets to pick 2 topics to spec on, where Jeff Geek Driven, Eric Mazoris Tiger, and JR Rogueslaw get to find characters that will be available or maybe coming soon to a theater near you. And we also have our Mondo Mail Call that's going to be happening on Thursday, 7 p.m. with Rudy. Uncle Rudy's going to be a guest, and he's one of our moderators. It's going to be a blast. And we also have our Mondo Mail, or our top picks on Sunday. So we have those things going on this week.
Awesome, man. Awesome, bro. Nice. I know you're gonna have fun with Michelle. Michelle is actually a regular co-host here at the show, Comic Relief. She's actually part of the Comic Relief family, and I know she's great. She does her homework, so I know she's prepared for tomorrow, man.
Oh yeah, Michelle's awesome.
Oh yeah, she always does her homework, man. She comes in fully loaded, man. One thing I wanted to say before we get out of here that you just reminded me of, that actually me and Paul had this conversation with the auctions. Holy crap, don't tell me it just left my head right now. Oh, I hate when that happens. Oh no. We were just talking about it, Paul, earlier.
He's like,
oh man, that's
No, Paul's like, what is it?
Yeah, I know. We just had the conversation earlier today when we spoke about the topic. Damn, I just had it while you was talking. I just came to my head. Oh, anyway,
I was a question though, Alonzo. So you comics and pops. I'm assuming you sell or collect pops.
I do. It was the bane of my existence. I collected way too many.
Yeah, I got a buddy. I got a buddy who had to rent a storage unit eventually because he had so many pops, and he was like at Walgreens at like 6 a.m. He had like back alley deals with the guys that worked at Walgreens to get the exclusive. I mean, he had a whole network. It was crazy. But anyway, he actually just sold them recently. But the thing I was wondering is though about especially the grading thing. Do they grade pops?
They do. There is a grading. Excuse me.
Have you done that? Have you you have graded ones or?
I do not, because there was a big brouhaha with that grading company. They graded a fake pop that said it was legit, and this is graded, and this is our seal of approval. That grading company got so much backlash because the Funko Pop community knew that was fake.
So how could you like make a 3D printer, right? I mean, you could probably make a pop maybe, or
you could like using a 3D printer. You're absolutely right. And a lot of those fakes are coming from Asia, because they can mass produce those things. So a lot of people have bought some of these pops thinking they're legit, but they're not.
Wow.
Yeah. It came to me. Now I remember. All right. One of the things that we were saying that I don't like is when you're in an auction and the person that's selling the book, trying to get you to bid on it or whatever, claim on it. And they're like, oh yeah, this book, if you press it and clean it, it'll definitely get you this. Like, shut up. Don't you fucking say that to me. Like, I'm buying the book because it's for how it looks now. I'm not going to invest more money to make it better after them paying already what I'm paying you. It's like, don't tell me that. And don't tell me, like we were saying, remember, oh yeah, this character, I heard they might be big. You never heard something that might
Black Panther 2, Submariner, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay.
Some crazy ass wild out character, you know what I mean? Like Star Fox, you never know. I heard something about him, and you're just like, get out of here. Like, so that's one thing, guys. Make sure you stay away from that. Don't let them,
that, and they do that in slabs. It'll say old label, unpressed, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, I guess. I mean, I can't see the pictures that clear. I must admit, buying books, I'd rather have, like me personally, because I'm not like a big slab guy, I'd rather have 12 pics of a raw book than like a couple of the slab. Because with the glare, I mean, slabs are tough to photograph. I mean, I found that out when I had them a bunch of years. So it's tough to get a clear picture. And at that point, I'm just at the mercy of whatever CGC says. Yeah. And cracking out about 40 slabs or more these last few months, I can tell you they're not on the money. Books 9.6s with 9.6 X-Men's with like multiple ticks, and come on. So what I would say is that it's, for me, I'd almost feel better buying the raw book with multiple pictures, like nice clear pictures, not like Zapruder film, but and also then a slab where they just show you the front and back, but it's like glare, it's in the Mylar, you can't even see the book. And but they would say to me, I guess, well, it's graded already. So what do you need to know? It's a 9.2. It's like, yeah, but I need to know, is it a 9.2 with a corner crease? Because I like my creases. Like 9.2 could have some grade, some defects I don't like. Whereas like, I guess CGC kills you for staining. Like I may live with a stain on the back cover. Like that's not a killer to me, but like a corner color breaking corner crease is. So anyway, that's a different tangent, but back to the pictures thing, it's almost like the raw books, you can see better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the more pictures, the better, right? I think we can all agree on that. And if you're putting an auction, definitely, put as many pictures as you can. I think Lord Chuck said 12 pictures or you swipe left.
That's right. Exactly. This is eBay / Tinder, brother. You already know how it is. I got to create a new shirt for that one now. think of a new idea. Create a shirt for that.
Shit.
But guys, man, we're coming down to the wire. Alonzo, pleasure. I mean, thank you so much for coming on last minute. Appreciate you. I'm happy to finally have you on here.
Nice
I don't know why we didn't have you on. I don't even understand that. Paul, always a pleasure. You already know, my brother.
Sure, my brother.
Thank you so much for coming on and being my co-host for this week. And yeah, guys, I mean, what more can we say? Auctions, do's, don'ts. Shout out to everybody catching this replay right now. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I mean, guys, make sure you do your due diligence, do your research, and once again, most importantly, enjoy and buy what you like, man. Don't get caught up in the FOMO, please. Even though you still might, I might tomorrow. I might buy like 2 variants because I got caught up because Alonzo might post something tonight, and then I'm gonna be like looking for it.
I saw that Hawkeye trailer yesterday. I was like, oh, I wish I still had my Young Avengers one. I almost did it.
You know, and it's funny because with Hawkeye, like that character, like I don't care for.
You don't like Kate Bishop?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, she's great.
That's what's crazy. I got the first Hawkeye. I just don't have the first Kate Bishop anymore.
I don't care for those characters. Like they don't excite me. Like I don't get like
$100. I'm like,
I'm not attracted to them. Like I respect it. I tip my hat, you know, to those characters. But you know, I'm not something where I'm chasing them. Like, you know, I had the opportunity to get those books back then, and I passed it up because like with me, I'm not gonna get a key just because it's a key. Like I'm gonna pick something up because that's what I'm into. You know, that's what I like. You know what I mean? So right, I can't. And there's times where I pick up a key because it's, you know, I like it. I have to like it. It can't just be a book because it's a key unless it's given to me, unless it's a gift or I got it for dirt cheap. It's there, and I'll be like, you know what? Fuck, it's a steal. Why not? But if it's something for me to chase, I have to chase something I like. You know what I mean? And if it's something I'm after, it has to be something that when I look at it, I actually want it in my PC. It's not because it has some dollar value, you know, because somebody said, oh, you can make money off of it. It's like, trust me, I can make money off a lot of shit. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's not the point why I collect, you know? It's like I collect for the love, for the book, you know, and everything else that goes with it, you know? So it's like, but other than that, guys, we could keep going. We're already past the hour. So with that being said, y'all already know this is Comic Relief, episode 28, comic auctions, do's and don'ts. And thank you to my co-host, Paul, PJMorris72, and thank you to our special guest today, Alonzo AKA ComicsNPops. Make sure you go check them out. Hit the link in the description. Follow these brothers. Y'all already know. Peace.